Hello again, YouTube. This is the Truth Man, giving you the truth. Woo-wee. I got, man, the women are going to be mad at me over this. Again, like I always tell y'all. And I'm finna drop so much wisdom on this one, man. It seems like my whole beard is turning back white. Like I always tell y'all, hit dogs holler, and if it ain't you, it ain't you. So we're going to connect the dots on these two, and then that's going to be pretty much it for the day. I promise you. So I want to go in depth as to guys think they have to be married. There's guys that's out here that are miserable because they don't have a woman. They're acting miserable. They're acting sad, lonely. But I want to show you some stuff today. I'm going to show you some. And this one is entitled, Here's What Happens When Women Are Out of Order. Here's what happens when women are out of order. Now, always understand that it is the devil herself that's deceiving these women into acting in these ways. And in their own mind, they think you need them to do that. Just like Eve thinks that Adam needed her to do that. But based on the scriptures, sometimes things go wrong because of division, because of strife. And we're going to get into the scriptures in regards to this, and y'all can argue with God, which is what y'all do anyways, when y'all talk against polygyny. And what's his name? Rashay from GOCC. Out of all the people, man, that I done watched on YouTube, I never thought I would hear you pander for women, man. I never thought that I would hear you pander for women, but now I'm even seeing you, and you got to get some more smoke. Yeah, Ringo tagged you. He tagged you, like he set you on fire, like in terms of giving you that smoke. But you got to get some more, man. You and all the panda bears and all these women who think they're doing something got to get more smoke, man. You got to get more smoke. I even took notes on this. Now, I'm finna preach on this one. And y'all know that I'm a preacher. And this ain't misogyny unless, like I told you, unless you calling God misogynist, then this is misogyny. Because this is in line with what he orchestrates himself. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. First point. Sin entered the world due to confusion as to who is supposed to lead. When you have women leading you for the sake of vagina, for the sake of being around your kids, when you let women lead you, and they making the decisions for you, you work where they want you to work, you do what they want you to do, you still ain't gonna get nowhere. It's gonna be confusion. Confusion as to things such as moving. Like you might want to relocate to this city. She wants to relocate to that city. Listen, man, listen. Vag and even kids, none of it is supposed to matter. If she don't follow your lead, you either lead yourself or you lead other women or another woman. It's up to what you want. Me personally, I'll never give women that satisfaction again. Either I'm going to be by myself or I'm going to have multiple. And if they don't get along, I'm going to get rid of all of them. That's just simple as that. I'm not going to change who I am. Guys be hurt over failed relationships and they change who they are. I'm not going to change who I am. I'm just going to be like I tell you, the no matrix mindset, you got to be willing to turn stuff loose. You should never do anything out of fear. You keep your job out of fear. You know it's toxic. You know that eventually they're going to try to get you. But yet you stay there because you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe in God. And you don't believe that the universe will bring good and good tidings to you. So that's the first point. The sin entered the world due to the confusion as to who is supposed to lead. Now, verse 4 says in Genesis chapter 3, the serpent said to who? The woman. Now, you got to keep that in your mind. The serpent wasn't talking to Adam like that. The serpent was talking to Eve. We always go back to the beginning. Now, if you don't believe the scripture, this, that, and the other, then you don't, what else do you have? What else do you have that you can equate the things of life and the things that transpire in life to? What do you have that gives a better explanation than the scripture? I'll wait. Moving on. Women were created. They were created. Listen. It says the serpent said to the woman. The woman was created second. She was created second. You say, well, how do you know? How you know? Listen, I'm not trying to convince you. I don't believe in convincing people. You gonna stand before God. I'm gonna stand before God. Think what you want. Now, verse 6 says this. Now remember, verse 4 said that the serpent said to the woman. In other words, the serpent was talking to the woman. Look what verse 6 says. I'm going somewhere. Remember, this title is, Here's What Happened When Women Get Out of Order. If you're a girlfriend, you're practicing being a wife. You're getting practice, like it's the preview. If you're a wife, you're supposed to already be in that role, learning what you need to learn and doing what you need to do in regards to what your role is. So it says, when the woman saw, how is she looking for herself? The Bible says the head of every woman is the man. Now what's on the head? Ears, 2 eyes, the nose, the mouth. So that means that the husband is supposed to be the sight. He's supposed to be the visionary. He's supposed to be the one speaking, teaching. He's supposed to be the brains. He's supposed to be the one that hears. He let Eve do that. He let Eve, and let's keep going. Let's keep going. We're going to see what happens when a man doesn't fulfill his role. It says, when the woman saw her vision, when the woman saw that the food was good. Now, her vision is supposed to be, like I said, her husband's vision. He is the head, so he sees and hears and thinks for the two. He thinks for the two. People say, well, she should have suggestion and all that. No, she shouldn't. No, she shouldn't, unless she say, can I just say this? And he says, okay, go ahead. And she said, here's what I suggest. But what do these women do? They make their suggestions apart from him asking her to speak. Now, because you've been brainwashed by the devil, remember the devil deceives women. Remember, ask yourself this. This system in the United States, in the world, is it God's or is it the devil's? Moving on. The definition of die is twice or double. That's the first 2 letters. And so when it says division, in some languages, they translate it division, meaning 2 visions. 2 visions. So how can you have 2 visions? Are you a 2-headed monster? How? It can't be 2 heads. There's no 2 heads. You know what that is? That's deformity. That's mutiny. If you had 2 heads connected, the Most High created, and anybody would like this, born like this, may God bless you. I'm not talking about you. I'm speaking symbolically. And I'm speaking literally, but not about you. So anybody that's physically this way, I'm not talking about you. Verse 7, it says in Genesis chapter 3, the eyes of both of them. See, now they got two heads. Were open, and they knew they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves waist coverings. Now they doing stuff that they ain't even supposed to be doing. They not in the garden to make waist coverings. They're in the garden to tend to it, to till it. Not to make waist coverings because they're naked. Women who lead men or try to lead their husbands and boyfriends are deceived by the devil. You say, prove it. Verse 13, Genesis chapter 3. What did Eve say? The serpent deceived me. That's what she said. Now verse 16. When the Most High laid out the punishment, here's some of the things he said. This is what I'm talking about. Here's what happens when women are out of order. They're not supposed to lead. They're not supposed to tell you no if you're asking for sex. You're supposed to agree not to do it. All this stuff they do is bringing this right here. Verse 16. He said, he shall rule over you. He said, cursed is the ground because of you. Cursed is the ground because of you. Like, we ain't even supposed to need pesticides or none of that. It's because of them. When you are led by a woman, you curse your ground. When you keep rebellious women around, you will have to fight extra and work super duper hard just to have the slightest things. See, what happened was the devil took the blessing of the lands for her and her descendants. Look around in the world. Look around in the world. Who got all the money? You notice it's kind of weird how they related. With hard labor shall you eat from it, the Most High said. In the Garden of Eden is the first instance of the secret society role reversal. They're behind the acceptance of evil as a way of life, and women who are married and don't submit to their husbands are evil. I don't care, you go to church every night, 7 days a week, you still evil. If you not submitting and shutting your freaking trap, you're evil. You're evil. Now, I would tell you guys, if you're dealing with this, give them a chance to change. You know how long you've been dealing with it. If you've been arguing about these things for years and years and years and years, why are you still there? God ain't telling you to be there. Why would the Most High tell you to be on cursed ground? In any marriage where the woman is not quiet and submissive, respectful, not cheating, not flirting, not liking other guys in her heart and mind, any marriage that she's not these ways, like if she's liking other guys, if she sleeps with those, or kiss these, letting them fondle, touch, or well, let's not use that word, letting them touch her and all this, she's making your ground cursed. She's making it cursed. Now, a woman must quietly receive instruction with entire submissiveness. But I do not allow a woman to teach or to exercise authority over a man, but to remain quiet. So when you start letting women teach, you get Juanita Bynum. How did her marriage work out? You get people like that. He ended up in jail. How did that work? See, and when you start letting them teach, what did she teach? She taught that people that like spicy foods have demonic oppression. Demons like hot stuff. Stuff like that. See, that's what happens when you have women who are not learning for their husband at home. And if you're a husband and you're not connected to God where you could teach your wife the word, shame on you. Shame on you, because you don't need to be married to get the sauce out. Shame on you. But most of these women, they ain't gonna listen to you. The minute you do anything manly, they're gonna stop listening to you. Anything, do you do anything? This was so goofy about a lot of them. You do anything manly, they're gonna stop listening to you. You put them in their place. You do anything, do not cry in front of these women either, because they don't know how to respond. They don't know how to take it. Don't complain to the complaining to women is done. As of today, we don't complain to these women no more. They don't understand. If you want to complain, get on your knees and complain to God. No more complaining to women. So, when women have their own mission and vision and they are married, it heads to cursed ground. And again, what did the Most High say? Having to work extra hard to have anything. Now, we ain't counting Illuminati. No, we're not counting them. We're not counting people who do rituals for fame and fortune. We're not counting them. We counting everyday working people with no civic ties or nothing. So, do not marry women who try to boss you, lead you, etc., etc., etc. Do not marry women like that. Because let me show you something. All that oohing and ah, all that performance, all that moaning, all that's going to stop. You know what that's going to turn into? You can't do this. You can't do that. You could still be doing it. It's going to be excuses. Oh, my leg. Oh, my arm, my back. But you have to stick to her. No other women. No other women. No. Some of these women will literally stop you from watching POR, fill in the blank, playing hangman. They don't want you to get no nut. I'm telling you, man, when they get in this unsubmissive role, they want to control every aspect of your life. Who you friends with? What you eat? No, why don't you just leave? Listen, if you're a woman doing this, why don't you just leave? Why don't you be the 304 that you want to be? Because you know who did that in biblical days? You know who behaved like that in biblical days? The prostitutes. Them. They didn't want to submit to no man. They wanted to do whatever they wanted. So you know what they did? They went to those altars that they was building to other gods, and people came to them and paid them for that. When they could have just been somebody's wife and been taken care of. But because they're deceived by the devil, if you own Seeking, you deceived by the devil. If you own OnlyFans, you deceived by the devil. And nobody making you be on there. And it's going to be on your head. It's not even going to necessarily be on the men who mess with you like that. Unless you have a husband. So, like I said, don't marry women who try to boss you and lead you. Break up with them, divorce them if you are married to them. Submit to the Most High, create and dominate. Do not deal with children even. Your children, same thing. Because they will mess you up too. A lot of times, sometimes if you gonna always have that kid that's going to have the same attitude towards you that the mama has. And sometimes it could be all of your kids doing it. You make those kids listen to you. You make them respect you. You give them time, especially if they're real young. And if they don't want to, they can go out into the world and fend for themselves. Because all of this stuff brings hard work on you, everything you do. Your hands are supposed to be blessed. So, have self-control. Do not even have sex with these rebellious Jezebel. Save yourself for women who submit to you and follow your lead. If you do anything, do it yourself before you deal with these Jezebel. The ones like Eve, not listening to Adam, even though Adam, you know what I mean? Don't do it. Save yourself for women who submit to you and follow your lead. This is not a blame on women. The serpent is deceiving them. I made that clear. Some of them think they can treat their husbands like dirt and still be connected to the Most High because they are deceived by the serpent. And these preachers are hirelings. Any preacher that's going against what the scriptures say, the scripture condone polygyny. This is how are we still arguing over this? It's condoned. Like how are we still arguing over this? You saying you a man of God, we should come to you for the word. You supposed to know this. Any of y'all preachers. None of y'all work in Paul's ministry. You not bishops for Paul. How are we still talking about this, man? You know what I know? You're not qualified to preach, man. You're not qualified to preach. You preaching for money. Because this is how I know too. A lot of time when you qualified to preach, the devil gonna fight against you tooth and nail and try to stop it from ever happening. I'm telling you. So now is the time. Now is the time. Like, let me get that out of there. You know, people like the docs, and you come over here with that garbage, it ain't gonna listen. I ain't these other YouTubers. I'm gonna tell you flat out. You come over here with that garbage. Some of these people on YouTube be thinking it's a game. Some of us really, you know what I'm talking about. But listen, it's time to start rotating women in and out. We're going to talk about that next in Isaiah 4:1. We're going to talk about that next. Because how many guys have spent their whole life dealing with the type of woman that I talked about today? They ain't getting none. Like, they ain't getting no relief. Then they get prostate cancer. When they said that, well, we ain't gonna get into medical because, YouTube, I'm black, I'm a small YouTuber, I don't have no civic ties. I don't want to go there, so we just gonna get off that. But anyway, y'all preachers, man, we shouldn't still be talking about this. And some of y'all, you not a prophet, man. If you preaching that a man has to be in a monogamous relationship, you might as well preach the pre-trib rapture after that. I know you a false prophet. You not a prophet, man. But anyway, the channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel. Thanks for watching. Keep tuning in for the Isaiah 4:1. You don't want to miss it. We kind of piggybacking off of this. So I'll see you then.